Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And we are going to run down the Hoka lineup, or at least the Hoka lineup that we prefer, and going to show you some of the shoes that we would use for runners. And I guess we're going to get a little bit into walking and maybe a surprise trail shoe at the end. So
it's pretty much our favorite Hokas of 2023. That's what you're getting.
Let's get down with the Hoka review, Meg. What are we going to start with first?
Let's start with the classic Hoka Clifton 9.
So when we first started getting into running, a thing came along that blew our minds, and it used to look so gigantically high stacked, and it looked, I remember calling them moon shoes when they first came out, and it was the Clifton. And it's come a long way. We've got 9 iterations now.
Yeah, we're on number 9. It's had its ups and downs along the way, but I think we are back on the up and up, which is lovely.
Do you remember running marathons in the Clifton?
I do.
Yeah.
I had several PRs in this shoe.
You used to love this shoe. As a matter of fact, you ran Boston in the original Clifton. And that was back before there was any kind of super shoes. So the cushioning, you knew it was helping your legs. It made you feel refreshed. It's the same thing that's now in super shoes that we loved about it back then, is that fresh feeling in your legs, the extra foam, the extra cush. It just keeps your legs feeling good.
Yeah, so this is a daily trainer from Hoka. You can use it for race day if you want to, but I prefer it now for that everyday easy running, maybe some longer runs, recovery days, any of those real just, you know, slogs or easy day running. It's super plush. You've got a ton of padding around the collar and heel, like Thomas was mentioning, plenty of stack underfoot. They are still using an EVA foam, but they've manipulated it a little bit now where I feel like it's more responsive and it feels lighter and a little better than previous iterations.
I'm guessing it has a little more rubberized EVA foam because it has a little more bounce, a little more give, a little more responsive than the older foams. What is nice about this shoe, I would say, is if you just wanted one Hoka, this might be the one to get. It's kind of in that middle ground. It can do it all. So yeah, this is a really good choice for someone wanting to try Hoka. Clifton's the place to start, maybe.
Yeah, and this one will come in at $145.
All right, Megan, say that there's not enough cushion in the Clifton for you and you want even more cush, more softness.
Then you're going with the Bondi 8. We didn't get a new update on this guy this year, but the 8 is a classic. If you're familiar with the Bondi, you will not be shocked with this last version of it. You have a ton of stack underfoot, 39 millimeters, 35 in the forefoot, so tons of stack front to back, 4 millimeter drop.
One of the things that I like about this is you can see in the upper, it still fits really nicely over the foot, gives you a nice lockdown. It has a wider base on this one. So wider base, higher stack, cushion, and it's really kind of that, you're not looking for speed in this shoe, you're looking for comfort. This is definitely a comfort first shoe, not a performance first shoe. A lot of people love this shoe for walking, for doing other things other than running, but it is one of those ones that people gobble up miles in. So if you're gonna be out there for a long haul, and you just want comfort under your feet, the Bondi achieves that.
This one will definitely be a bit heavier than your Clifton and some of the other shoes we're gonna talk about today. But again, it's that like Clydesdale, like really durable. You'll get tons of miles out of it. You can walk in it, you can run in it. It's a classic Hoka.
What's the price tag on this?
This one will come in a little higher than the Clifton at $165.
All right, Robbie, so a lot of people use Hoka for, you know, running. There's a big market of it that are just getting it for the looks and the walking, the Disney crowd, nurses, you know, all those people that just want a comfortable shoe to wear to work and walk around in. And now,
the Disney crowd is, you're spot on, but it's funny because it's like an actual demographic.
Yeah, I think it is. Like when I went to Universal Studios, I was like checking everybody's shoes. Hoka's and Ons own the pavement. And next was probably Nike.
And only one of those is comfortable.
Hoka's fully embraced it, and they've actually come out with shoes that are specifically designed for that group of people that want something to use for walking,
casual.
Yeah. And we got 2 things, Robbie. So you've got the Transport right there.
Yep.
Walk us through that.
Yeah, so the Transport is this new model that Hoka came out with this year. It's what they call an everyday commuting shoe. So it can be used for running, maybe like minimal distances, but maybe a dog walking, like all conditions shoe. It has this water repellent upper, a nice Vibram outsole here, which I'm trying to think of, aside from the trail shoes, I'm not sure that Hoka has any walking shoes with the Vibram. I think but it's really nice. Has this like toggle lacing system for quick tying. It's a pretty nice walking shoe altogether. So this definitely lends more on the like walking side of things because it does weigh a little bit more. It's only $140, so it's like in that reasonable price point. They use some recycled stuff in here. You got 30% sugarcane midsole. So this is kind of like the base model of that. And then if you go more towards like the running side of things, you have this shoe.
And this is a shoe that I would say you could do traveling with. So like when they call it transport to get you places, but also like if you want to pack one shoe and you say you're going over to Europe and you're like, I don't want to pack a lot, I'm going to take a shoe that feels comfortable for me to walk and tour the city, but also if I wanted to go for a 3-mile, 4-mile run, the shoe's still going to hold up. This shoe actually is exceptional for that. It's got a supercritical foam base here, plus a forked plate inside. It really creates that rocker feel. And the plate isn't maybe for propulsion as much as holding the shape of the foam and giving you that stability underfoot. Comfort is key on this guy.
Yeah, and I'm not sure we said the name, so this is the Transport X. Of course, X being, I'm not sure if you mentioned in the review yet that any shoe with an X has a plate in it for Hoka. So yeah, exactly. Of the two transport shoes, this is more on the walking side of things, or this is more on like the running side of things.
What's the price difference, Robbie?
So that is the one thing about these two. This, like I said, this is $140. This is $200, which is quite the difference. The $200 price range for a walker / runner is a little bit, it's getting up there, I think so. But yeah, I don't know.
All right, Robbie, one of our favorite shoes from this year out of the Hoka collection for a non-plated shoe. I think it's like the elevated Clifton. It's like the next level of that style of running shoe. It's that daily trainer that we love.
Yeah.
What am I talking about?
Oh, the Hoka Mach 5. Earlier versions of the Mach we weren't totally into.
I mean, the Mach 4,
Mach
we
4,
started getting into it.
But the first few were like, so.
I think what really did it was this new supercritical foam layer that's right under the foot, giving you that nice cushion, softer feel, paired with the EVA that gives you that structure and support through your stride.
What kind of person is trying to use this shoe?
This is your standard daily trainer, maybe for someone who likes to pick up the pace a little bit more. I do feel it's more versatile than say like the Clifton, where this one has a little more energetic feel underfoot. And I think that comes from the stiffer feel of that EVA underneath the cushion. So you get that nice soft landing, and then this EVA gives you a little bit of pop.
Yeah, and it's super lightweight for your 10.5. I think it was like 8.5 ounces. It's $140, which is somewhat, pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
For a nice feeling shoe.
Megan and I will be going over the Mach X next, and that will give you an idea of how you take this shoe and elevate it to the next level. All right, so Robbie and I just went over the Mach 5, Meg, and this is the evolution of it. We get that super duper foam.
Super duper foam.
Super duper foam. I think it's called Peebacks. Right on top here to kind of give this shoe a little extra oomph. They also threw in a Peebacks plate for that rigidity and kind of more propulsive feel underfoot. What did you think about this versus the Mach 5 before we start?
I preferred this one. I just felt like it had a little bit more pop to it. I love some Peba foam, so they threw that right under the foot here, which I really liked. If you haven't seen our super trainer videos, this one falls into that category of super trainers that we love talking about, where it's essentially a daily trainer with a lot of the key features from race day shoes.
Yeah,
so,
and that you basically nailed it with that. We were talking about all the great features in the high-end shoes that are packed into this shoe. You've got a great fitting upper, very breathable. You've got that Peebacks foam underfoot that gives you that squish and bounce, paired with the EVA foam that gives you a little more stability underfoot. The way that this all pairs together gives you a really nice ride. I would say the Mach 5 is very good. This is just a little bit of a refinement over it and gives you a little bit more, I don't know, pop.
So you get some of these really nice fast day features in this shoe, but because it is such a wide platform and you've got tons of rubber underfoot, it's gonna be super durable, very stable, so you get that daily training comfort feel, but with some of those faster performance features.
Yeah, and this one feels light on the feet.
Yeah, so this one is gonna come in at $160, which is that price point that we talked about. It's everywhere.
I think it's a pretty good deal for that person that maybe doesn't want to buy a super shoe and spend that money to have a race day shoe that they feel confident in, feels good underfoot. Maybe they're going to be out there on the marathon course a little bit longer and want comfort, but still want that light, fast feel underfoot. This might be the shoe.
Yep.
All right, Robbie, so it's race day. You don't want a plate. You want something that can take you 5K to 10K. What does Hoka want you to wear?
The Hoka CIELO Road.
I do enjoy running in this shoe. This shoe is fun. It has everything that the Rocket X2 has, but it's pared down to a simpler form. You've got a little bit of a lower stack of P-backs under the foot here and no plate.
Yeah, I wore this shoe, I actually wore this morning.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was really nice. You know what it reminds me of? One of our favorites from last couple years, the New Balance Rebel V2. It's almost like a, I don't know, even a more premium version of that shoe, I would say.
I would agree with you. It just has that vibe that when you're trying to run easy in the shoe, you can't. It just picks up. It's light underfoot. I still would probably go with the Rocket X2 even for the 5K, but that's because I have access to it. The price point of this, though, could change my mind.
Yeah, this is $160, so it's cheaper than some of those other up-tempo shoes that you're gonna find, like the Takumi Sen.
Or even the Nike Streak Fly.
Exactly. And it has that P-backs midsole, which I'm not sure if you mentioned, but it feels nice and bouncy. And the upper, man, it's
minimal.
See-through mesh. It's like a little risque.
You gotta have good socks on when you wear this.
Yeah.
Would you choose this over a plated race day shoe for, say, 5K, 10K?
I don't know. It's a tough call because this is a really nice shoe. I think you could go either way and you wouldn't be disappointed with either choice. I think especially if you're looking for a, you know, if you like running half marathons and under, you're not maybe, because I think this is a little low for maybe the marathon distance these days anyways. I think for $160, this is a great option.
Yeah, and it still has some rigidity off the toe, so even though it doesn't have a plate, you're not missing that pop coming off the step. So I think it's a really good option for people who don't want to spend, you know, $250 on a shoe. This is almost not, well, it is $90 less than the Rocket X2.
It really does like disappear on the foot too. It's super lightweight, so just a really nice racing shoe for sure.
Now we're getting to the premium race day Meg.
The Mama Jamma.
The Mama Jamma.
This is the race day shoe from Hoka that I have been wanting for several years. They finally put a full slab of Piva foam underneath the foot here, and it is lovely.
Yeah, it's paired with a carbon fiber plate, just like most race day shoes. So this shoe is up there for that marathoner that's really trying to press and pull out that PR on the race day. I'd also say it'd be great for a half marathon, any distance that you're trying to PR. If you want to do a 5K, 10K, half marathon, this would be the ultimate shoe to be using from Hoka. Obviously, we talked about the CIELO, and that's a specific one without the plate. So the difference is between these shoes is that carbon plate.
Yeah, you're also gonna get a bit more stack here. So this one is 36 in the heel, 31 in the forefoot. So you're getting a bit more stack underfoot. And like Thomas said, there's also a carbon fiber plate sandwiched in there. So you really get that bounce and pop from that combination.
Everyone on our team really enjoyed trying to do fast miles in this shoe. So we all use it for speed work, tried it out for marathon training, and all of us agreed that this was one of the top trainers that we have. Matter of fact, if you looked at our website today, it would have this on our top 5 race day shoes.
Yeah, and you really do get those race day vibes with this super minimal upper here. It's very light. The tongue is gusted, but super thin. There's just not much to it. A light build, and then what's nice is that this is a little bit of a wider platform than some other race day shoes, so you get a little bit more stability, and then they actually have quite a bit of rubber coverage for a race day shoe. So I feel like this is not only great for like racing, but also there's good traction and durability, so you can get some decent mileage out of it.
Race day shoes usually have a price point. Where does this one fall in?
This one falls in at $250,
which is pretty much your standard race day shoe.
Between $225 to, I mean, we're seeing shoes up to $300,
peaking, yeah.
But $250 is sort of right in line with, you know, the other race day shoes.
For someone who's putting in the time to train for a marathon, who's going after that PR, that's putting in the speed work, doing those things, when you think about how much time you're investing in racing a marathon and just the cost of getting to the marathon and everything like that, you want a shoe that makes you feel confident on race day. And so the price, it may be worth it for you to go up to the $250 range and have something on your feet that you feel can really get you to the finish line a little bit faster, a little more confident. What would be great for the trails?
Hoka has a lot of good trail shoes. You know, the Speed Goat, the Stinson,
Challenger,
pretty much across the line. Their trail shoes are pretty solid, but this review is more on the road side of things, lifestyle, walking, whatever.
So we're just picking our favorite.
Exactly, and so that's the Hoka TECTON X2. This is their trail racing shoe, but honestly, you can use it for just normal trail running. It's a fantastic shoe.
I know that it was a top pick for last year. All of our trail reviewers liked it and voted it to the top. What were some of the things they needed to improve that they took care of this year?
The main thing was in the upper. The last year's version was a little bit baggy, just not structured very well. This has a gusseted tongue, has some improvements of the fit of the upper, maybe a little bit long in the toe box, but I think it's improved over last year's version. Very lightweight for a trail shoe, coming in at under 9 ounces, which, if you know, for a trail shoe, that's
super light
pretty
on
light.
trails.
And then the midsole is largely the same. We have a ProFly Plus layer on top with the nitrogen infused supercritical ProFly X on the bottom, so you're getting a nice bouncy ride on here, but it's not so bouncy that it's unstable.
Well, you got the plate in there to help.
Yeah, there's a parallel carbon fiber plate that goes almost like an independent suspension for the trails. Vibram light base with mega grip outsole. It's just a very solid package.
Do you think this would be good for anybody hitting the trails?
It is ideally used for race day, but if you're just taking this out for a trail runner, honestly, it's a great road to trail shoe. You could wear this on the roads and it's going to be fine. Lower lugs here. Now it is a little bit more expensive than last year's version. This comes in at $225. If you're looking for kind of that perfect trail shoe, this is it, and it might be worth the money.
So that wraps up our Hoka review of the shoes that we love in 2023 coming from the Hoka brand. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope that you found a shoe in there that's going to work for what you're looking for. Robbie, what do we always tell people to do?
Obviously, we want you to subscribe and follow us here on YouTube. Comment on this video if you have any questions or need any more recommendations. We'll try to answer as many questions as we can. And I would say follow us on Instagram. Make sure you sign up for our email list. Listen to our podcasts, The Drop and Fuel for the Soul. I feel like the Hoka videos get a lot of new viewers that maybe haven't seen our videos before. So we have many more videos to watch. Our podcasts, like I said, sign up for the email list where you get all the reviews at the end of each week. I write a little tidbit at the end for you. I don't even know.
Little magic.
It's things that come into my head. Yeah, and I think there's a lot of great ways to follow us, and it'll be
It'll be something.
It'll be something. Oh man, I'm like,
you can just end it. There's a lot of great ways to follow us out here, so make sure you do it. Yeah, Robbie's right. There's nothing left to say.
You'll get a lot more of this if you keep watching.
Yeah, a lot more of this.
Thanks.
Hey, by the way, magic is real.
It is.
It is.
It's not an illusion.
No.